Eric, you want to unmute and chime in?
You got Eric Moore.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can
What's
hear you.
up, man?
What you got to say?
Yeah, I don't know much about that situation, honestly. He just told me you guys are going to talk about Brittney Griner, and I just had to see
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. We about to get to
Oh,
that
yeah, we're
now.
going to do that in a minute. Yeah. All right. Um, yeah, so let's talk about Brittney Griner. So, Brittney Griner, prisoner exchange. Um, so she's now, I'm assuming she's now back on U.S. soil, but I'm just opening it up. What do you guys think about that?
I just wonder if her view has changed any.
I don't, we, I guess we can make jokes all day and laugh, but I have taken this one personal, and I'm going to tell you why.
Go
I don't
ahead.
care, and I've done a little bit of research, not thoroughly, so I don't know. There's three, from my understanding, there are three prisoners over there that are all military, two of which are not honorable, so they can keep them over there. Okay, they were dishonorably discharged. The third one I do not know about. Did not have enough time to research that. However, to me, it is a slap in the face to every disabled vet that has ever devoted themselves to this country, to the flag, to the national anthem, and to the people of the United States. And the reason I say that is this. When I got deployed to Saudi Arabia, we were briefed not once, not twice, but three times about the local laws, about drugs, even about pork being in the country, okay? And we were told if you got caught stealing, there's no status of forces agreement here. Your hand's going to get chopped off. Don't come to us for help because there's nothing we can do. And the same thing goes for American athletes that go overseas. They are thoroughly briefed on drugs. Drugs is where it's more accepted here in the United States. It is not in most overseas countries. Now, I'm not going to say all. Obviously, there's Amsterdam, but you do not bring drugs into a foreign country. Everyone's argument is, well, it was just a little bit and she just forgot. What? No, you don't forget that shit. Pardon me, but you don't. Because they tell you, listen, if you get caught off this plane with these items, any of these, and it could be drugs, could be alcohol, could be whatever the rules are in Russia, you are going to serve time, period. And oh, Joe Biden, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of him. He did it for a political stunt. And it pisses me off. He didn't do it because, oh, she was so wrong and wrongfully accused when she sat there and admitted, well, I just forgot about it in the bag. No, no, you didn't. You thought you were going to beat the system. And all the interviews with her about what she first said when she was on the plane, I don't really give a shit. Because you disrespected our flag. You disrespected every disabled vet that has lost a limb, lost their life. You kneel for the national anthem, and I'm sorry, I grew up in a military family. You either stand at attention, parade rest, you salute, or put your hand over your heart. Otherwise, I got no use for you, and that goes for anybody. My life expectancy is very short because of what I was exposed to in Saudi. And these guys that are much worse off than me, that have literally lost their lives or limbs struggle every single day, and you want to make some great awakening by kneeling at the national anthem and the flag and this country sucks, and then go to hell, get out of our country. I
Hey
get no
man,
use for you.
Uh,
hey, hold up.
Sorry, I
Let
got
me
I
let me
get
let me
man,
let me
I'll
let me
go
let,
I go off.
wait. Let me say this.
Here
I'm gonna
comes.
be
Come on,
honest
Terrence.
with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I get where you coming from, but just like everything that you're saying and the way you're putting it out there, that'll make a person like me want to do that just to piss you off,
mhm.
just to piss you off because of how high and mighty that you coming off right now.
No, it's not for me in directness. It is for
Just
every.
like when we started, I said something like, and for some odd reason you felt the need to say, well, y'all can laugh and do all this about it, but I take this I take this seriously. I mean, that's an individual,
That
opinion. Everybody does
right.
have their right to to have their opinion on. Now, I don't agree with the reasoning and all that. I think it's a lot of BS. But just to hear you talk and the way you saying it, that will make me want to do it just because of how you saying it and what you're saying. Like, I don't have no use for you. Who are you?
Well, you know
Who are
what?
you?
At the end of the day, who am I? And it's just like the rest of them. We're the guys that gave you a safe country to live in. We're the guys that
But a lot
kept this
But
but
freedom free.
a lot of them will say that that's the reason why they fought. So
they
people will
have the
have their
right
right
to
to do that.
express that.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But I take it personal because of what occurred to me in Saudi. And for someone that said they had no use for this country and this country sucked, that
Now,
that should
now,
get
now,
that
did
type.
Brittney Griner say that?
Yeah, it was quoted. Uh, not those exact words.
What exactly did she say? Yes.
Oh my gosh, I read so much of it today. Oh,
This is where you shouldn't paraphrase anything. You should know
Yeah.
exactly what the person said.
I'm pretty sure she don't feel
well,
that.
right now there's so much information going on, and there's been so much coverage over it that everybody's got their opinions, and and people are, of course, they're pushing false information, such as, oh, you left 3 poor Marines over there. Well, 2 of those Marines aren't poor Marines. They were dishonorably discharged, and they're convicted for some serious crimes.
Now, Terrence, I'm gonna give him credit
So,
on that. Now,
so,
I'm gonna give
so
him credit
let's
on that
not
because
give her no more smoke than she deserves. If she did not
No,
say, "I have no use for America,"
no,
then we
un,
should
un,
not
un,
berate her for that.
understand this. I'm personally not disagreeing with his stance
Oh, yeah.
on what he's saying, but what I'm being real about is like the high and mighty that's standing on the soapbox doing all that stuff. That will make a lot of people want to do it just because just for that. Because technically, people do have the right to have their opinions and feel the way she feel. But I do believe that along with that right, the other side has the right to feel how they feel about it, about what she did and what she said also. But I was just being real with him. Like when you get your emotions caught up in it like that and you personalize every single thing, you kind of make it seem like the other person's rights just aren't as important as yours, and that would literally like make me want to, okay, they feel like this, that, and the other, then I'm gonna take full advantage of the different rights that I have. I'll kneel for it, since they saying that I'm not shit because I kneel during the national anthem. Hell, I'm gonna kneel during the national anthem.
But yeah, let me piggyback off the kneeling part. I thought it was a sign of respect, Jake, for you to kneel.
No, now, if someone knows greater than me, I'm all for getting educated now. I'm all for it. But from my understanding, Kaepernick started that trend because over Black Lives Matter and some other shenanigans going on.
Well, he started at first. He said he did a kneeling because it was I guess a retired, or I guess he's still serving, an Army vet, told him he understand what he want to do, but there's still show respect, he can kneel. That's why Kaepernick started kneeling. That came from a military guy.
And kneeling,
I think
Kaepernick started off that as a response to police brutality. It's not about saying I hate America. It's saying that there's this part of America that I don't like and we need to address it. It might not affect you, but it negatively affects me.
Yeah.
Because we love something, it doesn't mean we're required to love everything about it. We can say, this part is wrong. Let's address this part.
Well, I guess my issues with it, they're trying to take away a lot of our traditions. A lot of folks are in every capacity, okay? But since we're talking about the flag, the few things that I stated, your hand over your heart, saluting, that was the norm, the standard.
Okay.
All of us were in school, and we sat and put our hand over our heart. A lot of military members, I know, friends of mine, felt that was very disrespectful. You have to lead by example, and the example is, okay, I'm not going to bring the national anthem or flag into it, but I'm going to be a spokesperson for making things right within this community or this race by doing these things, but not by disrespecting supposedly a country that I love. And a lot of veterans I know, because it was a huge talk back when he started that, felt disrespected. Like, no, if you really believe in America and what America stands for, then you need to represent yourself in a different way and stop taking away from the norm and the standard and changing things.
Okay, so what's the appropriate way?
So what does America stand for? If we're going to go there with it.
Yeah, but everything's
hold on.
Everything's built off of
We can say that for
Just because it's traditional doesn't make it right or good. All it means is we've been doing it so long. That's what tradition means. We've been doing it for so long that it's now become part of it. But that doesn't mean we have to just keep doing it.
If we really dealing with respecting our country, then all these military guys that you said had a negative feeling toward the way one man kneeled should have felt just 10 times as upset over the way Donald Trump reacted when the Capitol was stormed and said, okay, well, these are good people, that just misunderstood. But yet they over here hurting officers and people that was there to protect and uplift the law. So let's that's a rabbit hole that's kind of real deep right there.
We've got two topics going on because it's apples and oranges on that one. Donald Trump is not an issue we want to bring up because that would be for another show. My point is, there's a lot of norms that we all do every day, or how we teach our families, or how we present ourselves, in a classroom or as a police officer. There's standard things. You touch the back of a vehicle. That's when you approach a vehicle. That's the standard. That's the norm.
Okay.
And so the same thing applies, for military members. We are trained and bred. If you're in uniform, you straight up salute. There's no qualms about it, okay? Granted, not everyone's in the military. I get that. We give the exception, but you stand and show respect. And I think that's where a lot of them said, and I was trying to look up what I read today, and there's so much stuff out there. But the bottom line is a lot of people felt like we became a weaker country today because of two reasons. She didn't respect the country, and for different reasons, and they treated an arms dealer, which now all of a sudden that arms dealer is going to help.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get that kind of trade.
Let me read.
I agree with that part. A lot of parts, not the initial.
It's a little background. His name is Victor Bout. He was found guilty of conspiring to kill American and U.S. officials by delivering anti-aircraft missiles and aiding a terrorist organization. During his 3-week trial, he was told the weapons were used to kill a U.S. pilot, and his reply was, "We have the same enemy." So that's what we traded for, right?
We all know it was a move just to pander to us.
That's a political move.
That's all that was. We all know that's not a fair exchange.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said,
is, once it gets there,
I'm wondering if her view has changed, or is she still standing on the same thing she was standing on before all this transpired?
We gonna see.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I guess, and a lot of folks, So if you read it on the news, a lot of them said wrongly accused and used those words as the title of their narrative. And you're thinking, wait a second, where are you reporting from? We watched her on, I think it was one of the news stations go, Honor, I'm sorry I brought this into the country. I'm guilty. He admitted to the guilt. So wasn't wrongly accused.
They're trying to justify the trade. That's all.
Sir?
Just justify the trade. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
at the
just-
end of the day,
it's
she
kind of
broke another
crazy.
country's laws, and you know, like I said, when I heard about the trade, I just threw my hands up. I don't
But
get
you
it.
remember, I told y'all that during the first episode.
Yeah.
I told y'all that. I said
What's
they
that?
trying
What'd
to
you say?
a sniper. Remember I said that?
You did say that.
Did X.
You did say that. You did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So the thing is, what are they going to allow him to do once they get him back over there to Russia? What are they going to allow him to do? Is he just free to go about his way, or are they going to hold him to a standard, opposed to
They wanted to trade for a
anything else?
reason.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted to trade for a reason.
Yeah.
For him to train that military. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a reason behind. It's a method to the madness.
Yeah. Now I don't know if Brittney Griner is free or is she serving some time here in America or what?
The last
As
I
far
read,
as-
she's
she's-
at home.
Okay.
Yeah, she's and she didn't
so-
do anything in America.
Well, sometimes they have it to where if you're serving time at prison overseas, you can, even though they bring you back, but that usually involves countries where we have an extradition treaty, and where you still can serve some time, even in the States.
I mean,
so
because that just sticks in my head. Why did they want him back? If anything, leave. I mean, we don't want him over here. He escaped and this has happened. Then shoot, he's a man of mass destruction, pretty much. But why do they want him back?
yeah.
He did 25 years with us, so I don't
Was he a weapon that they can use?
Yeah.
We're going to see.
He can train other people and teach them how to make certain weapons and what they can use and I'm pretty sure he's learned a lot being over here in our prisons. It might sound crazy, but we got loose lips over here.
Yeah.
People start talking and he won't just locked up with our everyday street gang members or street thugs or whatever have you. He was locked behind bars with people just like him. So
He was in a federal military prison.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I got to escort prisoner when I was in the military, and that is no place that any person ever wants to be. You have this many rights in a federal military prison. You earn the right to go to the bathroom, and I'm not over exaggerating. It is a bad place. Officers control the prison, unlike here in South Carolina, where the prisoners control the prison. In a federal prison, buddy, take a strike at an officer, and you will take a beat down of a lifetime, and nothing will ever be reported. And I'm not over exaggerating. It's nuts. They do what they call a 12-step program, and each step is a rule, and you have to recite it without looking at it. Even if you're at number 10, if you get it wrong, you go all the way back to 1.
Yeah, different prisons got different rules, but he was around people that were just like him, that had that military experience, and a lot of these prisoners, they just give him information just because they are Americans that don't like America. And here you go, man, take this back to your country. This is what you can do to help, your country succeed or whatever have you. It's just asinine. I'm gonna read this right quick, and we can do this on another show, Mel, just like I'm saying. And then we go on to the next topic, whatever y'all choose. But the U.S. national anthem kneeling protest, just like you said, the gesture originated in 2016 American football game doing with Kaepernick and his 49 teammates. Eric Reed chose to kneel on the playing of the U.S. national anthem to call attention to the issues of racial inequality and police brutality. After hours of careful consideration and even a visit from Nate Boyer, a retired Green Beret and former NFL player, they came to the conclusion that we should kneel rather than sit during the anthem as a peaceful protest, said we chose to kneel because it's a respectful gesture. I remember thinking protesting was like a flag flown at half mast to mark a tragedy. So I get what you're both saying, and that's what they, the reason they do it. That's a topic for another reason.
The
I look
issue
at it
for
from this perspective also. We kneel to pray, don't we?
Say again now?
I say we kneel when we pray, don't we?
Yeah, some cultures do.
So
some cultures
is that
do.
God?
Yeah. I think the issue of respect is about really an individual's interpretation. What offend you may not offend me. So if I'm Muslim and you bring out pork to eat, that's offensive to me, but it might not be offensive to you.
And
so it's really about individual interpretation.
Yeah, but even with it being offensive, it's got to be a respectful way of dealing with your offense. You just can't be like, I worked in a detention center, and you bring out pork. I mistakenly gave a kid one time a sandwich. He come in, late at night, he was hungry, and I gave him a bologna sandwich. Was I thinking that, you a Muslim? He got mad, threw the sandwich across the room. Okay, whatever. But check this out. I gave him a hot dog. He ate that. So you got to know. Yeah, you got to know. You got to know what you're doing when, whether it's disrespectful or you got to be knowledgeable of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Now, with that being said, them kneeling, I agree with Miller, just like I said. Then Nate Boyer say what he said. It's more of a respectful thing. It shows that it's bringing attention to the situation with police brutality,
the part of America,
everything else, opposed to just sitting there, because just like a kid in school, we've all been there and done that. Kids sitting there, you tell him to get up and move, and he don't move. Oh my God, we got some issues. It's all about how you do it, when you do it, or whatever have you. So. Yeah.
Eric, got a comment for us to say something?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
we got you.
All right. So, actually, that was really informational, Andrew. I didn't realize that that's what it means. And everybody's got their own opinions, like you said, their own things that affect them. Before knowing that was the peaceful portion of the protest, because I never saw that, people would take that as an insult, right? Most people that are prideful in their country are veterans, whoever it may be. So that was really informational. I think we're all pretty much in agreement with the whole Griner thing. That essentially it was afraid, not that one liked more than another. It was just meant to be more of a political statement than an actual, trade-off for a person. They didn't want her as an insult. It is essentially what it was for, So, like I said, I think we're all in agreement for that. At the end of the day, everybody's got their own opinion. Is what it comes to.
Yeah. And just like you say, it was good information. I'm gonna tell you, Eric, we talk about it all the time on the show. The media just takes stuff and just blow it up. If Miller didn't bring that to our attention just now, we would have never thought about looking up to clarify. But media take it, boy. Trump was upset, and everybody's upset about this because he kneeled. Disrespectful. Well, there you have it. They came to a peaceful agreement of a protest, because just like we was talking about Deion Sanders, this man ain't gonna mess up his money by when they come to him and say, "Hey, you're not standing for the national anthem," is a problem. I'm pretty sure he's got fines and everything like that. So he did. So he came to that agreement. Hey, we'll kneel, based on what Boyer said, and we all would agree to do that. And it's become a national thing throughout the sports industry that it says. I didn't read the whole thing to y'all, but that's what they were saying. They accept it throughout the sports industry as respectful protest for the issues, not for the national anthem, but the issues that America and justification or no justification for what's going on in America.
I mean, the political stunt is disgusting in itself. It was when we had the whole woke movement, okay, and all of a sudden you saw more African Americans and more Chinese on commercials. All right, you didn't do it for the right reason. You did it so that you could look right, and that's the same concept here. He didn't do it because he cared about this girl or anything. But then you look at the kneeling, and I just thought of something. Miller brought it up. You kneel when you pray. Now, just from my understanding, we kneel because we are below God. Okay, so that's how we show that we understand that we are below. You stand as a sign of respect, and there's just the different styles of standing. If you wanted to protest or a peaceful protest, and you're a sports person, how about stop the game? That way you're the only people that you're really going to upset and catch the attention of are the fans and the news media. But when you start playing around our national anthem and you start playing around the flag and things that, I mean, even most of you guys are police officers, okay? You took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And knowing you guys, you do that very proudly every day. And it might not change your point of view on how I think of it, but to me, if you're kneeling towards a flag, you're not showing the flag respect. That's just my opinion. I understand why they can write why she did it. Okay, well then stop the game. Don't play the game anymore until the persecution of your cause stops and people are treated fairly like they should be treated.
Well, kneeling or standing for the anthem doesn't interfere with the game one bit. Not playing the national anthem before games does not interfere with the game whatsoever. I get people feeling offended. I mean, I understand that they feel offended because of different views and all that. I just think sometimes we all on both sides need to literally stop and count to 10 and just listen to the other side. Even if you walk away feeling the same way. Listen, don't go by what you... It's not, I feel this way, therefore you are expected to feel and act the same way. That's the attitude for a lot on both sides. Well, no. I feel a different way. And I'm going to act a different way. At the same time, I expect you to feel and act a different way. So.
I agree with that. I'll agree with that. That was a great way to put it, Nick. That was truly a good way to put it.
I'm curious. Hey, what does them being police officers have? Like, what they had to do with it?
It's just because they took an oath under the Constitution of the United States. So, you do see a flag inside of a police station or highway department, and you see the state flag. So, before their graduation ceremony, I am 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, they played the national anthem before we graduated. So it was just a relation of background, maybe that they understood, or maybe they thought the same. I'm not sure, because not everybody has, chimed in. Just been a couple of us talking, but Vic put it a great way. He really did. The great thing about America is we can have different views, but if we take the time to listen to each other and understand what each of us is saying, and I may come across harshly, and like I respect and love all you guys. That's no BS. That is a truth. But when we listen to each other and just kind of absorb what the other one's saying, then we're more to understand it. And I'm more understanding once parents brought it up, and even more so when Vic brought it up, and even when Quentin brought it up. Because I'm listening. Even though I have my own view, I'm still listening, and I may change my view later on this evening.
Okay. Well,
All right.
we all agree it was
Yeah.
an effed up trade.
Yeah.
Hey man,
That's
we
like
got
trading in a Cadillac for a Pinto.
it. Yeah, yeah. Hey, we got anything else, Vic? We can end it with that.